Good morning, morning, morning. How's everybody doing? About 6 minutes before 8 o'clock in Chicago. Uh, 7:14. 7:14. All right. Starting to get so Tuesday we come in here. Monday yesterday we saw what kind of day he had. We had a down day for the futures for the most part. All right, and a little bit better here this morning, but it looks like they popped up and then they kind of fall back down again already this morning. All right, we were down exactly. Sorry about that. We got down to a low yesterday at 748 bucks. All right. So here's your monthly. So we talked about this yesterday about full time frame continuity, and we'll see what if we start to lose this. Um, we start to get risk on. I think we're on risk on right now. I think that if we start to get that, if we get that spy start to join that party to the downside, I think then there could be a little bit more trouble there. But we'll see. So stuck inside here with the month for sure, and then you got that week that just got started yesterday, and now this morning it looks like we did have a pop up here, 754.20. All right, 754.20 would take us day up. All right, and on the 2 day right there, you're still 755.23. So we didn't take that out or any of that business, and it has come back in anyway. So here we are now at 750, handily inside on the day on the SPY. All right, and to break this thing, it's going to take 745, guys, 745 to turn that month into red. All right, so be aware of that. All right, what do we got on the Qs here this morning? So triple Qs, there's your month. Just horribly inside. Okay, as you got the from the previous month. Couldn't get this thing triggered. I'm looking at tech stocks here a little bit coming up here. Intel back up to 108. We talked about this one yesterday. Got down to 101. I didn't buy any down there. I just think that I don't know. I don't know. All right, but they're better. And what did I say yesterday? More than likely, buyers are going to step in, and it seems as though maybe a little bit this morning, but I found some exhaustion risk across the board as we start to move up. All right, so stuck inside here now with the month with the month, and that's our Monday from yesterday. We see if anything can change there. This morning at 7:18, that 718.74 is the high on the weekly, which was yesterday's highs. All right, so we're better here now this morning. Yesterday's highs, what I just said, right? 718.74. We're at 719.22 right now. All right, so we're not taking out the 2 day by any chance. But it looks like we're going to be nudging in between these two bars right in here. This is going to be where the battle's going to be fought this morning, and we'll see what happens with that. All right, so Qs, like I said, they're going to find some way to get up here. A couple names here that I saw that popped up here, and Intel. And I talked about Intel yesterday. Intel's been coming down very nicely. So we got a day up here now at 108.10. We're not taking out the 2 day. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in too early anyway, guys. I would not want to get in too early on this thing. All right. So let this thing play out. Let's see. I wouldn't even if they go ripping here, I wouldn't be chasing. No, by no means. They might just tear, but I don't see that happening. All right, so Intel, you got that 2 day pattern in there. We'll see if anything happens with that. The CRWV, that's a Cloudflare stock, so it's a little bit different, all right, than the semiconductors. And 85.21 now. All right, so still handily inside from a high yesterday of $88.77. And as you can see, they ran up and they've been puking back down. The one thing that's holding up pretty good here is Intel. Intel's the only one that I'm seeing here that hasn't started to pull back. All right. So I'll go real quick through some of these ones. Apple has just been a real champ. 311. I think you're a good spot there. If it gets there, be patient with it. Um, but good shooter down day yesterday. So we found some exhaustion risk up at this 323. That was way too fast. Okay, from this move. All right. So and this morning here she's at 313.96 right now. So she's even lower here now. All right, back down to 313.99. Again, guys, 311. 311, I think, is a good spot for Apple if that's the stock that you like. I think Apple might be a good spot around 311. And then we see a lot of exhaustion risk here on Google this morning, right? They run up, they puke down. All right, they run up, they puke down. All right, you're going to see that pattern happening, especially Amazon again here. I do think Amazon's getting ready, but I think we're still we're still risk. We're in risk here still. All right. So Amazon popped up to 248.96, and now she's pulling her back down as well. So you got that's your kind of your Mag 7 there. We got Microsoft. We got the guy in the background yapping. Microsoft 3-1 on the inside here now. All right, but Microsoft had a decent day yesterday up to 393.67, and now we're back down, and we're taking day down here at down to 379. All right, so Microsoft takes a dip back inside. All right, Tesla. All right, Tesla. Um, Yesterday's highs 405, trading at 398.73, stuck inside. You get in the picture. Intel, Intel. All right, at 101, we were talking about it there. All right, so a little bit better there. We'll see what happens with tech. XLE on energy. Energy seems to be the one that is moving the best right now. All right, so XLE. I'll get quick here because we got guys in the office now. It's going to get a little loud in here. XLE 57.14 now. So we're looking to take day up on XLE, and then watch your utilities on your XLU. XLU come up here. I can show you XLU. All right, so this is a 2-1 a day here. Could get continuation from this at 45.90, trading at 45.71. All right, and you got all full time frame continuity. All right, energy and Utes could continue to move here. Okay, crude is up another $2.51 this morning. What's the gold doing here? Because we had those XLBs, which were the top of the charts yesterday, all right, and they were down, all right, but XLB had a good, decent day yesterday. And then you look at GLD. What do we got there? GLD is not doing anything. Sorry about that. No, we're higher here now. We're higher here now. All right, 374, 374. We're going to be taking day up here. All right, but we're still stuck in that 2-day pattern. Silver, I'm not going to give it too many of those. So silver, where you at? 53.39. So higher here this morning again with silver. All right, so gold and silver higher. Watch that XLB, X-ray Larry Boy. That group is starting to move in the metals. I'm still a little sketchy on those, but we'll see if they can get up and stay up. My staples this morning are just hanging in there like champs. A lot of them are on the ropes with the weeks and the months down. And we'll see what happens with them. All right, so XLP yesterday, they gave up the whole day, and here they are right back again today, pestering everybody at 84.50 again. All right, so we'll see if the staples, see if the staples, if the market really starts to move to the upside, you're going to see some pullback on staples. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. What else here? XLI is a little bit better here this morning, and so is XLK. All right, so industrials downer day yesterday here. Now coming back up. It's not showing me much on the overnight here. 182.16. I'm showing 181, 181.92. So a little bit better on your industrials. Watch out for the airlines, some of the truckers, and definitely the rails. The rails have been strong. So keep an eye on that. Those sectors, I think those are the ones that might move if they start to move. All right. So this is about what we got here today. All right. XLF lower, but not taking day down by any stretch. All right, but lower. So 55.55. We're trading at 55.90. We're inside day. All right, inside day on the XLF. All right. And we'll see if the XLYs can come back to life. They come to life and then they die. They come up, they die. They come up, they die. As you can see, this has just been choppy, so this is not telling us anything. And then if there's a wild card out there anywhere, it's probably the healthcare. Kind of still number is still higher up, on the month because of the big move that they made, and now they've been floundering back down. But she could come back to life. The patient is little it's not in the ICU. All right, that's how I'm gonna say that. All right, so healthcare, we'll see about that one. That could be a wild card that could turn around and start to move back up again. That's it. That's all I got. All right, futures, we know what's going on. Qs are a little bit better here now, and SPY is hanging on by a thumbnail, trying to stay green on that month. All right, so be good, be good.